So hello everyone, thank you for joining us in our podcast. Today we have Shir with us who's joining us. She's actually one of our clients, but I think now we can also call her a friend. We've known each other. She knows our company for our firm for a long time. So Shir, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure.
Yes, our pleasure as well. So just a few words about you, what can you tell us about yourself?
So, as Saf said, my name is Shir. I'm living in Israel. I don't know, maybe you have some interviewers not from Israel. I'm an Amazon mentor, entrepreneur, a mom, and I have a course of Amazon private label of my own with a partner, Eagle Raz, in Israel. That's the main subject on me.
Yeah, so now you've became a mentor. You have a lot of experience on Amazon, but I do want to going back a few years. I want to ask you if you can share, how did you find out about Amazon? Why have you decided to become an Amazon seller? What drew you to this space, which, we all love?
My Amazon journey started on 2018. Back then, before I worked at the high-tech industry for several years, I liked it very much, but it didn't answer my values. What are my values? To work from anywhere in the world, to be independent, to be more with my family, okay? So I looking for something that I can manage myself, that I can follow my values.
When you were in the high tech, did it anything to do with e-commerce or no?
It was not related at all to e-commerce. I worked as HR and it was not related at all. But I think this industry much more expressed my personality. Okay, I work with people and I can manage my own time, as I said, and a businesswoman, okay, and it works much more for me from this side. So in 2018, there were two main things in my life and everybody's life, but especially in mine. First of all, it was the coronavirus that started and the world shut down and everything was very messy. So I felt like it's an opportunity for me to try and to see something else and new, which I wanted to wish, okay? But I had no courage for that. And the second thing, for me personally, I experienced 3 miscarriages at the same year. So it influenced me very much on my soul and personality, and I wanted to be home and relax and do something of my own. So that was the two main things that pushed me.
It's big things that you mentioned, Corona hit everyone, but then you had your own personal thing that I'm sure it was difficult times. A lot of people was trying to start over or thinking about what they're doing during these periods. So I can definitely understand and relate.
Yes. So I think in my case, for example, sometimes when we had a very harsh time, it leads us to good things, to push ourselves, to create something new. So in my case, the cliche is true.
You wanted a change in your life. You were looking for something, to be more at home, to be more independent. But, how did you find out about Amazon? How did you say, okay, I want to be a part of this world. I want to give it a try.
So actually, I've heard on Amazon much earlier than 2018. In 2014, I already took a little course. It was very new in Israel, all this industry, but people heard about Amazon, about all the things they can do there. Like I said, it was something that looked like I can manage myself and work from anywhere in the world. Okay, so how I started? In 2018, I left the high-tech industry, as I said, because all the things I managed. And I just started to learning by myself. Okay, I took a course in 2014, but it was not relevant because Amazon changed very rapidly. So I started to learn it myself step by step. As you know or don't know, Amazon have so many things to learn about. I mean, the PPC, the sourcing, the
No, I understand. I was also an Amazon seller. I know all the things that you have to learn, especially if you start by yourself. It's kind of learning on the go. That's how you basically get to know everything there is to know.
so I used to learn it for a year and a half. And to tell him the truth, it was a big mistake because I learned it myself. Nobody guided me, and I made all the mistakes you can think of. Okay, the mistakes cost me lots of money. It's not just that you make some mistake and you can fix it very quickly. In Amazon business, things takes time. You have the workflow, and you need to do everything step by step. And I lost a lot of money, lots of money.
Like you mentioned, there's a lot of mistakes that can happen when you start. First, when you start your first business on Amazon, can you remember anything significant that happened to you when you started?
Sure, I didn't know how to make sourcing. I mean, I chose products that are not good enough to establish and build a good Amazon business that you can maybe even exit after a couple of years. But even if not sell it, you can gain money from it. And I chose a very bad product at first, which cost me lots of money, and I lost most of it. And I needed to start it all back then from scratch. Okay, so that was the first big mistake that I made.
So you didn't do this initial research, that today, before you start, choosing, your product or your niche, you do kind of a research, you have the tools to do the research. There's no research. You said, this is the product I think will work, and you just dove in.
Yes, I tried to make it all in the good way, right? I tried to learn it all deeply, and I put lots of effort in it. But I didn't understand something very, very, very smart and important that today I teach people how to think about it. I didn't understand that the niche can change over time. What do I mean? I mean, after 1 year, okay, that my product was launched, the lot of Chinese competitors get into the niche, okay, and they just reduced the prices of the niche. So I didn't understand it back then that it could happen. And today, when I teach people, I say that to them, you need to take some gap, okay, for that, because maybe or even sure it will happen. Okay, so that's what was a big mistake for me.
I do want to, stay on this topic. You've decided to go with your own brand. You said sourcing, so you chose a product. You went with your own brand.
By the criteria, but I didn't also something very big.
Right, but you chose your own brand. You didn't choose to go as a reseller. You went and you sold your own brand. So I'm just kind of thinking, we know, and we're probably going to speak about, the pros and cons of choosing between your own brand, your private brand, versus the, being a reseller, which you're selling, known brands on the platform. So in that point, why, because you had no experience, why did you decide, okay, I'll take the chance. I'll do my own brand and not, choose, known brand and just reseller like a lot of people do on Amazon, especially people that, just starting.
I think also I have two answers for it. One is that I just didn't know all the other options. Okay, I've heard, but I was not with a lot of knowledge, and private label looks like something everybody talks about. And that was one reason, even though it's a little stupid. Okay, let's say it like that. But the main reason was that I wanted something of my own, okay, that I can develop and make it bigger and sell it even one day, and something that I create from scratch. Okay, that's how I felt that I needed to take it.
So if you let's say now that you have all this knowledge, you have all this experience, if you had to make this decision again, what would you do? Reseller or your own brand?
My own brand, definitely. Again, even though it's hard and you need to to put lots of money in it and time and etc. But with the guidance or something that can help you to understand what specifically you need to do step by step, okay? Because that was my problem, that I didn't know how to manage and what to focus on, okay? So I lost lots of time about it, about things that are not so important. Maybe sometimes you need to take some people that can manage for you, for example, the PPC or some niches into your business. And I made it all myself. So I had so many things to learn, and to learn good, you need, if your competition is so big with so many sellers, that you need to do it in the best way you can do. So if you're not an expert in some field, so you need to let it go and give some expert to manage it for you. Okay, that's that is the big advice I can give you right now, but definitely a private label.
We're representing a lot of, both resellers and private labels. And what we know and what we hear a lot is that Amazon prefers brand rather than having resellers on the platform. What are your thoughts on that? Did you feel that from, on Amazon?
I don't know exactly what Jeff Bezos and his employees think, but I think they prefer private labels because once it's private labels that offer new. I mean, there are lots of competition. They offer new products. They try to make it better from time to time. The second thing is that Amazon have more. I think they have more control on private labels. On private.
In what way?
They can ask us for our personal details, for our suppliers' personal details. They can see where we ship our products. That they can compete us. I mean, Amazon. They are a competition with a lot of sellers on the platform. Okay, so I think private labels is more comfortable for Amazon, but that's only what I think. I don't really know.
Yeah, but if we've been seeing these waves of suspensions recently that are happening, and one of the last wave was the verification, which again also it's been done for resellers as well. They want to know the supply chain where you're buying from. Want to make sure it's not a counterfeit, that you're legitimate, that you're buying from a legitimate business. So I think on the verification, they're also doing it both for resellers and for brands. What I feel, and again, what I see a lot is that it feels like they want the private labels, they want the private brand, they want to show more variety than having a lot of the same, let's say Nike shoes on the same listing. That's kind of what we feel, what we see. If it kind of feels that they want less and less resellers, they want more and more, private labels, brand.
And why do you think it's like that?
One thing, I think it's the variety. First of all, again, you have more once you have more brands. It feels that you have more to choose from. That's one thing that I think. I think it makes their life a lot difficult handling resellers. Making sure to take care of their client, the customers at the end of the road, to make sure that everything is legit, not counterfeit, that they're buying good products. I think it causes them a lot of work. Maybe that's one of the reasons. But again, my guess is as good as yours. This is the feel that we have. We have a lot of issues with our clients that have their own brands rather than the ones that are resellers. That's kind of what we feel. It's good. I thought your answer would be, by the way, completely different. I thought you're going to say I would definitely start as a reseller, to learn the business, and then I would maybe go on to becoming a private. But again, it's I hear you. I know it's like developing your own baby. Creating this brand for you with all.
I think if you can do it step by step and do it the right way. I mean, if you follow somebody, so it's the best way that I think that you can establish a good business and rapidly. I mean, not very rapidly. 6 months, 1 year, establish your own business and learn all the things that you need during this year. And as you said, I want to answer that to the claim that you said that lots of private label brands have problems, right? With the Amazon shut down their seller account.
I'm saying resellers have more.
Because private label also have problems. But if you follow the rules, I mean, the rules that are legal, okay, on Amazon, so there is no reason that Amazon will do something like this for you. The issue is that a lot of sellers don't know what to do. They try a lot of things and they do lots of big mistake, like you will give some example, like to share false reviews, okay? And this is something that can shut down your seller account. And if I guide somebody, so I say this is a big no-no for me, and I said it from the beginning, okay? So if you follow the rules, Amazon are okay with you. They won't do anything bad for you.
Yeah, the big question is how did you manage? How do you keep up with the rules? There's changes being made to their policies. How did you manage to?
So I think in from time to time, Amazon are more harsh, okay, and they have more rules about all the clarification, etc. But back then, in 2018, it was a little bit
easier.
Yes, easier in this field. But I educated myself all the time till now. Okay, I educated myself and learn what they want us to do, not want us to do. I try things, and also I'm a little coward. I'm trying to go and do just the things that are legal and follow the words. That's the truth.
Yeah, I think the best advice that you gave for beginners, although it sounds like obvious, is having an expert with you. I also again started with not a lot of support, which causes you to make a lot of mistakes, which you can easily prevent. At least when you start, people think it's easy and I can do it by myself, but the learning curve is big. So I think that's one of the best advice that you gave to people just starting or thinking about starting, especially today when it's more crowded. It's a lot easier, especially if you're talking about 2018. I'm talking about 2016, which was definitely a good time to get in. But today I think that's as a beginner, as someone who wants to start, I think that's it seems simple, but a great advice. But I do want to ask you, so I know the mistakes that's been done, and you mentioned when you started. I want to know, if you can think of, the challenges that you had when you're already, established Amazon sellers, and you know the ins and outs and what you're allowed to do or not. What kind of challenges, did you have to cope
to face with today with my students?
Yeah, back then when you're ready, I know Amazon. I know what to do. I learned everything. But still, challenges are still coming. Businesses on Amazon always have ups and downs. There's no, always being on top. You're dealing with suspensions, IP issues. I just want to know, if you think of, big challenges that you had to manage when you're ready, established brand on Amazon.
So I faced a lot of challenges, okay, and I will talk some of them. In your fields, for example, I had a big issue to. I asked Amazon to approve my own brand, right? My own brand name. And it took so many time, and there was some mistake in Amazon a team, okay, not to me. I made all the process as they asked for.
You're talking about brand registry?
Brand registry. Yes. And they just didn't approve my brand name, the brand registry, okay? And it took like 2 months, something needed to take 2 weeks. And it was very frustrated. I needed to talk to them again and again and again. And Ronit from your team helped me to manage it because I couldn't do it myself. Okay. And it was for nothing. I made everything as should. But Amazon is Amazon. There are some obstacles that you need to face with, to deal with. And that was one in your field. Okay. So I want to say something to people that see us, that no matter what happened to you with Amazon, you can always manage it. And at the end, most of the time, it will be okay. You just need to be patient. Okay. And you need to try again and again and talk to the customer service and use people like Asaf.
But this is again, this is true as long as you have, you haven't done anything, fraudulent, or you're a good heart. So they have to, if you're doing everything that's according to the books.
Legally.
So you probably just a few words for the people who listen that don't know what brand registry is. So basically, this is one of the ways for Amazon to help protect your brand on Amazon. So if you have your own brand, you file your trademark to protect it. Once you filed your trademark with the USPTO, you can send it to Amazon, and they know this is your brand. And if anybody comes, to the platform trying to sell it, counterfeits or products that are similar, so they'll help you take them off. And it's very, very important it's one of the the basics for protecting your brands on the platform. We both highly recommend for everyone, to use it. And it's a pretty simple process. Again, you file your trademark. A few days after, you get your number.
It'll be very, very easy.
Yeah. Like you said, it's a simple thing, but even here you had some issues.
I had issues, but as you said, I want to clarify it. If you do things legally, it will be fine at the end. But if you do some
fraudulent, illegal stuff, yeah, it could be not good for you. Do you remember any suspensions that got you really worried?
Not for me, but I had some client that I can share that Amazon just thought that she was hijacker. Okay, they thought that she was hijacker on her list. Maybe you can explain better for me what is hijacker after it. But Amazon just suspended her Seller Central account, and she couldn't bring it back till these days. They shut down it, and it's gone. But I mean, it's the first time I saw something like that. I have hundreds of students that I follow, and nobody, it happened to nobody, but in this case, it was dead end.
Yeah, I remember. We also had some few similar cases when a hijacker came on the listing. It's your brand, so obviously no one can come on it. And they filed. They approached Amazon against her with her own with her own brand registry. That was they took her off. That was a funny case. Obviously, we resolved it, but they came after the seller with their own trademark. The things people don't know how crazy things can get. How weird and crazy things can get on.
So in this case, Amazon, the hijacker I don't know how Amazon believed the hijacker that the list is his own, that the brand is its own. I don't know what happened there, but they just shut it down.
I think that one of the problems with Amazon today, and we see a lot of false, suspensions because of that, is a lot to do with the, some sort of automations of their systems. So there's a lot of, bots that are going over your listings and suspending with no reason. I think sometimes the team is not really aware of what's allowed or not, so they get some sort of complaint. They immediately remove you, and afterwards they try to find out. After, when you approach them and said, you shouldn't take him down, I shouldn't be suspended, they then try to look into it and see if you're right or wrong, if you're saying the truth. The thing is that for them it's easy. No problem. We took you off, but now you're back on. But for sellers, it's losing a lot of money, on
Losing
inventory,
their
on
business that they work on.
yeah. By the way, this actually one I want to from this I want to get to my other question is, a lot of people are talking about, you know, a lot of people that had only Amazon as their business were talking about diversification, not putting all your eggs in one basket. And I know you thought about it and you actually done it. So I just want to ask, first of all, why did you decide? I need to diversify. This is not enough for me. And I'd be more than happy to hear, what did you do? What's the new business?
Okay, I need you to clarify a little bit the question because I don't understand if it's about only the business or the mentorship.
Okay, so basically, like I said, a lot of Amazon sellers, once already familiar with the platform, it kind of seemed to you as a risk for it to be your only business, having only Amazon store. So a lot of people are trying to diversify. They're doing it in a
Yes,
in a
okay.
different way. Either they are going to opening an eBay store, they're going to Walmart, Shopify, having their own store, or going even to other direction, which they got the tools from being an Amazon seller, but now they want, okay, I have an idea for another business, so I won't rely everything on my Amazon store. So I know you have, first of all, thought about the diversification, thinking about more things that you want to do based on the experience that you've got as an Amazon seller. And you've actually done it. You have a different business right now, which is related to the experience you got. So I just, first of all, want to hear about, why did you think you need to diversify, opening a new business, and what is the new business?
Okay, so I say it like that. From my own eyes, first of all, I diverse my own business, but not to other platforms, okay? Not to eBay, not to Etsy. I mean, maybe on Etsy a little bit, but it's not my main business. I believe, after a couple of years in this industry, that Amazon is hard enough and you need to learn so many things that you need to be expert in some platform. Okay, you can try Amazon, eBay, Etsy, and much more new platforms like I forgot the name of it. Walmart. Okay, you can try Walmart and etc. But I think you need to be an expert, and even when you try to be an expert in some field, like I said, you need to take some people with you that can manage a lot of things into the business. Okay, in Amazon you have so many things you need to deal with daily. You need to learn. I think you need to expand your own brand in Amazon. Okay, put all of your effort in some main platform. Okay, that's how I see it. And why I personally started to be a mentor and don't manage only my own Amazon business is because, first of all, I like to work with people. Okay, and when you manage your own Amazon business, you just with yourself most of the time. And so I had the capacity for the two things. And also I stayed inside the Amazon world. I mean, I still keep learning all the time, again and again. And I'm forcing myself forward, pushing myself to be the best and to learn more and more all the time. And it also helps my own business. Okay, when I started to be a mentor, I understand how many mistakes I made in my own business. Okay, because I don't want other people to make those mistakes. So I educated myself about it. Okay, so that's why I tried to go to the mentorship, and I opened I just launched a course, like I told you, with an Israeli partner, that we teach people how to establish a business. But it's Amazon business. I talk in Hebrew, but it's Amazon business that like I have my own. So I feel like I had the same business already. I mean, I didn't leave Amazon. That's what I said.
Yeah. Yeah. So you took your Amazon experience, and then now you're giving it to the next generation. which is good again because we said people that are starting the business need people like you to help out. You know, so like I said, we've talked about a little bit about 2016, where there's a big boom of people coming into Amazon. 2018, the COVID, when COVID hit, also a lot of people went in to e-commerce, and especially also Amazon. How do you feel right now? As, especially when you have a course, you're mentoring people. Is there still demand for e-commerce in general and Amazon specifically?
No, and we're teach people how to establish business in Amazon and speak mostly on Amazon. Okay, not
No, I understand, but there's still people coming. Still people. I'm sure that if the course, the mentoring, if you opened it back in 2018, you had a lot of people in line waiting to hear what you have to say. A lot of people wanted to join Amazon. I'm saying, is it today, 2024, almost the end of 2024? Do you still see it? People coming to you. Do you still see a lot of people still wanting to enter this space, wanting to go and sell on Amazon?
So I see lots of people that want to establish an Amazon business, but the main difference, two main difference are that, first of all, in 2018, when I entered Amazon, it was much easier and cost it cost less. Okay, you needed to put like $5,000 or $10,000, and you can try it. You can try to establish your own business. It was easier. Those days, I don't see how people can do it by themselves. Okay, they must to have a guide, and also they need to put lots of money, more money to establish the business, like $25,000 to $30,000.
Yeah, I know one reason which I can say, which made it easier for a lot of people to get in, which was back then was a lot of drop shipping, which is,
Right.
it's not as easy as it was. So why was it, in your perspective, why was it cheaper back then?
I think back then, what is the real reason is it was very, very new. Okay, it was something new that people want to try, want to share. It was everybody wanted an Amazon business. Okay, but over the time, people understood that it's not so easy to manage an Amazon business, and it became much harder during the years. So the difference that I see from people that coming to talk to me today is that they really understand what it means to establish an Amazon business. They understand it much more than the people back then. Okay, nowadays they understand they need to put the money, they need to put the effort, the time. It could be a huge success or not successful at all. Okay, and they understand all the things that they must understand for establish a good business. And back then it was something everybody wanted to do, and most of the people, because of that, okay, they didn't understand the real issues of the business, and they just lose their money. Okay, that was the truth. So it changed. I think people's mind changed about it. They became more educated about what is Amazon business.
Okay, and now that they're more educated, and they know it's not as easy as they thought. So that you still see people, a lot of people come in wanting to do it. A lot of people coming to you for mentoring. I want to have an Amazon business.
Not lots of people, okay, much less than we used to have before 2 or 3 years. But the people that are coming are much more successful. Okay, so I prefer to work with people that understand what they are entered for, even though we have less clients. Okay, but no, it's not the same amount of people. It's less.
Yeah, but you say less, but people that are really willing to get into the space and do what it takes. Understand it's not going to be an easy ride.
Exactly, and take responsibility of their steps and their business, and don't expect that something will happen and they will be millionaire in one night. They understood it's not the trend.
So, what is the main warning that you have when you start? your course, what is the main thing that you warn about, or how you say, listen, you have to know this before you make your final decision or before you get in? Is there anything you can say? This is one of the biggest thing I need to say.
So exactly as I mentioned, I'm telling people that they need to put at least 25 to $30,000. That they need to have time to learn it, to learn it, and to establish it. Okay, together. I mean, at the same time, and that they need to educate themselves all the time. Okay, again and again and again during the time, even though they don't want to manage all of their business. Okay, even though they don't want to manage the PPC, for example, and if they take some expert for it, I still say to people that they need to learn the field, even not like an expert, but to understand what is going on, because they need to know where their money going to. Okay, what the PPC person is putting their money on. Okay, so that's the main two things that I say to people that they need to know before they enter the business.
Even before you've launched this mentoring service that you provide, I know that people have consulted with you. You've talked about with many people that wanted to be that already are Amazon sellers and they want to start being Amazon sellers. We've met in conferences, obviously. Did it ever happen to you that people come to you and they give you a pitch of their idea or their product, and you told yourself, he's onto something, that'll be great, and it happened?
Sure. Okay, let's say it like that. I always say the truth, my own truth, what that I really think of. Sometimes I say to people, it's a great idea, but I don't say it because I think. I say it because I do some research before I answer, okay, before I give my thoughts about the product. Okay, I do lots of research. I'm checking data. I'm checking the niche, the competitors, all the revenue, and etc., all the costs. And sometimes I'm telling people, even though they think they have a great idea, I'm saying you have some great idea, but it's not a good idea for Amazon. Okay, it's not a good idea for Amazon field. So that's what I'm trying to do from time to time.
I actually think that's what you just mentioned is a great thing. That a lot of people have really good ideas, but they have to understand that, especially here when we're talking about e-commerce and talking about the platforms, that even though the idea is really good, it has to fit the space. So this is something you have to take into consideration when you're coming in. So this is, I think it's a very good thing. That's a very insightful thing that you just mentioned, that although people will react to it and say, oh, of course this is something I would use, but again, it has to fit the Amazon space, which is very important.
Exactly. That's why I mentioned before that you need to be an expert in some platform, because same product could fit one platform but couldn't fit to other platform. I mean, in Amazon, some product can sell only in $40, but in Walmart it can be selling in $60. Okay, so the revenue is different, the costs are different. So you need to be an expert in one field and understand perfectly what are all the costs, what will be your revenue, and so on, and to try to make it to make the best that you can inside the platform that you are in. Okay, and not everywhere.
So yeah, there's a lot of homework that needs to be done. If we're taking it also to my world, making sure that you are compliant, you're making sure that you can sell it on the platform, making sure that you're not infringing on anyone's trademark or patent. There's a lot of homework that needs to be done before you enter the space. A lot of people, even like you mentioned in the beginning, you spend money on you already found a supplier or a manufacturer in China. You already, oh, this grade we have it. I'm buying it for cheap. I can make a lot of money, but then a lot of things happen along the way. So there's a lot of homework that needs to be done. And again, one of the things that you mentioned, and I think it's great that you have your mentoring classes. Is taking the expert. So you need someone to be an expert. For the sourcing. You need somebody to be an expert for the PPC. You make sure that you need a compliance expert if it's a product that needs compliance. There's a lot of homework needs to be done, and us as experts, everybody's in his own field. First of all, we want to help. I one of our great pleasures is successes with Amazon sellers. Especially the hard cases. Getting them back, getting their listing back or their account back. Fighting for them. This is a great satisfaction. So I'm
You
sure
like a
it's.
favor. You saved their business.
Yeah, people don't understand that an e-commerce business is the same as having a brick and mortar store. I mean, if imagine that you have a store and somebody comes in the morning, and shuts the store down, you lose a lot of money. You're losing sales. You have to pay your employees. You pay for your inventory. Same thing goes for Amazon. The Amazon store, they're holding your products. You have to pay for storage. Every day that money's not coming in means money's coming out. So it could be devastating, especially for businesses that rely heavily on their Amazon store, or even if it's their own business. A lot of people that don't come from the e-commerce space that don't understand how significant it can be to wake up one morning and get a notice that your account has been suspended. Which that's why we yeah, we want to help. There's a lot of urgency. A lot of you have to help us right away. We try to do our best. But every success for us as well. It feels great. It feels great. We've had thousands of Amazon clients along the years, and every success is still great. It's still great. We always encounter new things, but it's still great.
Crazy. And if something happen in this field, I rely only on you. My students rely only on you. Because it's so important that if you take somebody that don't know exactly what to do, it could be very traumatic. At the end, it's our business, our money, and if you can't fix it, it's a disaster. So you lose it all.
So I must say, first of all, we've again, you're a client, but also a friend, and obviously I know the things that you've done and your businesses, but it was still great speaking to to learn more. It's great. A lot of clients, we don't know how they got started, which everyone has its own story. So first of all, it was great learning about how you started and everything you've been tackled along the way, and I appreciate it very much. And it's always a pleasure speaking to you. So today again, and I really appreciate you coming on our podcast. And again, thank you very much. It was great speaking to you.
Thank you very much for having me. It was fun.
It was great fun.
And I learned from you as well. I didn't know that you started in resale,
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
honest. So
Yeah,
it was
yes.
great, and let's see you next time.
I'm sure. Exactly. I'm sure we're going to have you again with us here. So thank you very much.
Thank you very
And thank
much.
you everyone for joining us. It was again great having Shir.